Oh, well, good morning there, fans. Welcome to another episode of 162 Times. I'm your host, Daniel Turner. It's great to be with you here on a Monday morning. We're doing this show on the heels of the rubber match between the Miami Marlins and the Seattle Mariners that was played on Sunday down in Miami. So we'll bring you that one. And then there's a 3-game set that's going to start at the Tropicana Field over in St. Petersburg, Florida. So Mariners team is going to go north and west to get up on the other side of Florida. And they will be playing in one of the worst stadiums in the majors for 3 games against a good team that has a bad record. And, of course, we will also talk about the scores from Sunday. And given that it's Monday, we'll also take a look-see at the divisional standings, where everything sits at this particular point in time. So let's get to it. We got the bad news for you here. Unfortunately, it was a Mariners loss on Sunday, meaning they dropped the series to the Marlins. They lost 2 out of 3 to one of the worst teams in baseball, which is frustrating. Final score was 6-4. Miami moves to 27-50. Mariners 45-35 on the season. Still first in the American League West. Miami still last in the National League East. Mariners and Miami each had 7 hits, but Miami managed 6 runs and the Mariners only 4. There were no errors in the game. The loss went to starter Bryce Miller. He's now 6-6 with a 3.90 ERA. The win went to A.J. Puck, former Oakland Athletic, who is now 1-8 on the year with a 6.1 ERA. And there goes my alarm because we're doing this show early in the morning. And then we've got Tanner Scott, 9th save of the year, 6.14 ERA for the Marlins in this one. Overall, Miller only went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk, 3 Ks, 2 homers given up. In the bullpen, it was Saucedo. He did an inning, gave up a hit. Trent Thornton struck out 3 in his inning. Austin Voth walked 2 and struck out 1, but gave up no hits or runs. And Mike Baumann had a clean inning with 2 strikeouts. So basically, the bullpen did their job. Overall, Mariners got 9 strikeouts, only walked 3, only gave up 7 hits, but couldn't win the game. Part of the reason for that was they left 8 on base and were only 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. On the Marlins side of things, their starting pitcher, Kyle Tyler, he went 4 innings, gave up only 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He walked 3, struck out 2, and gave up a homer. Winning pitcher Puck had 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, otherwise was clean. Huascar Brazoban got into a bit of trouble. He did 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, 2 runs, both of them earned. He also walked a guy. And that was it in terms of runs given up by the Marlins. Nardi, Faucher, and Tanner Scott also all pitched innings where they did not give up any runs. So we arrive at a summary of the scoring here. It started with a Jake Berger single in the first to score Jazz Chisholm. Then it was Nick Gordon with a 3-run shot in the bottom of the first, made it 4-0 Miami. Bottom of 2, they kept going. It was Jazz Chisholm singling in Vidal Brujan, 5-0 at that point. Then a home run from Jesus Sanchez made it 6-0. Top of 4th, Mariners start to claw back. Luke Raley homers, Dom Canzone scores, 6-2. Then Ryan Bliss grounds out in the 7th, scoring Luke Raley, 6-3. J.P. Crawford then singled in that same inning, scoring Mitch Garver, made it 6-4. But that's as close as they come. They could not add anything more on, and thus end up dropping the game. Very, very unfortunate when you think about it. But that's the way she goes sometimes. So Mariners are going to, like I said, travel over to the Gulf of Mexico, St. Petersburg, Florida, Tampa Bay. They've got a game against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight at 6:50 Eastern. It's going to be Brian Wu, the young righty, 3-1, 1.67 ERA, 25 Ks on the year. He'll be going up against Taj Bradley. And Taj Bradley is 2-4 with a 4.06 ERA and 53 Ks this year. This Rays lineup, we don't have the lineups for tonight yet, but this Rays lineup features that MFer, Randy Arozarena, one of my favorite players, left fielder. Jose Caballero, he was acquired by the Rays in the Luke Raley trade. He plays shortstop. DeLuca, right fielder. Yandy Diaz, first baseman. Jackson, catcher. Then they've got the Low Lau guys. So there's Brandon Lau, I think it is, and Josh Lowe. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce them. One of them is Lau, one of them is Lowe. They're both pretty good. Brandon is a second baseman. Josh is a right fielder. Then there's Palacios, right field. Paredes, third baseman. Rotvet, catcher. Ahmed Rosario, right fielder. Jose Siri, center fielder. And Walls, the shortstop for the Rays. So you might think it's kind of a no-name lineup, but they develop good players there. Anyway, this game can be caught on Bally Sports Sun or Root Sports Northwest. And that would be the Monday game. Then on Tuesday, another 6:50 Eastern start. This time it'll be Luis Castillo, 6-8, 3.63 ERA, 96 Ks on the season. He'll be going up against Zach Littell, who's 2-5, 4.2 ERA, 76 strikeouts and 81 innings pitched, and a 1.38 whip. And in the final game of the series, which will be on Wednesday, the Mariners are going at 12:10 Eastern Time, and it'll be George Kirby, 6-5, 3.47 ERA, 89 Ks, and he'll be going up against Ryan Pepio, who is 4-4 with a 4.61 ERA, 75 strikeouts and 66 innings pitched, and a 1.13 whip. So the Mariners definitely have their work cut out for them against a good lineup, a team that's playing well with decent starting pitching, who like to strike guys out. So we're really hopeful that the Mariners are going to be able to make a significant impact in this game. In terms of the scoreboard from around the majors on Sunday, June 23rd, we'll just go through it in order. So first up, the Phils at home beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 4-1. The Rays beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1 on the road. The Braves 3-1 over the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Second straight win for the Braves in the Bronx. Boston 7-4 over the Reds. Toronto lost and got swept by Cleveland 6-5. Detroit beat the White Sox 11-2. Houston beat Baltimore 8-1. I think they've won all the games in that series. Houston now just 2 games under 500. St. Louis Cardinals 5, San Francisco Giants 3, Texas Rangers 4, Kansas City Royals nothing. Also, I think a sweep for the Rangers in that one. Washington 2, Colorado 1, Minnesota 3, Oakland nothing. New York Mets 5, Cubbies 2, Brewers 6, Padres 2. So, bad night for the Mariners in terms of who else won, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And then we will transition right into the standings and let you know how the divisional things are going. So starting with the Hogs in the American League East, you've got the New York Yankees still leading the division, 52-28. They are half a game up on Baltimore, who is 49-28. Boston is 42-36. Tampa is 38-40, and Toronto is 35-42. Yankees have a plus 109 differential. The Orioles have a plus 111, and the Red Sox have a plus 48 differential. None of those teams other than Boston is over 500 in their last 10, though. Yankees are going to play the Mets next in Queens. Baltimore is hosting Cleveland. Boston's hosting Toronto. Tampa's hosting Seattle. And Toronto's at Boston. In the American League Central, it is still the Cleveland Guardians leading that division, 49-26 on the year. They're 7.5 games up on second-place Minnesota Twins, who are 43-35. The Royals have dropped to third in the division, 42-37. Detroit is 36-41, and the White Sox are 21-58. Minnesota's 7-3 in their last 10. Cleveland's won 5 in a row. Kansas City's lost 3 in a row. Cleveland's plus 104, Minnesota's plus 25, Kansas City's plus 42. Next up for Cleveland, they are visiting Baltimore. Minnesota visits Arizona, and Kansas City hosts Miami. Detroit is hosting Philly, and the White Sox are hosting the Dodgers. All right, to the only division that matters, the American League West. Seattle was 10 games up a few days ago. They're 45-35 now. They're 6 games up on Houston, who's 38-40. Can you sense the apprehension in my voice? They are also 6.5 games up on Texas, who's 37-40. And Texas just got Max Scherzer back in their rotation, who had a good start last night. LA Angels are in 4th place, 30-46. Oakland's 29-51 in last place. So Seattle has a plus 17 differential. Houston has a plus 21 differential. Texas is at -2. Seattle's at Tampa Bay. Houston's hosting Colorado. Texas is at Milwaukee. Advantage Houston in this next series for sure. Hope the boys in Northwest Green recognize how important this all is. Houston's won 5 in a row. Texas has won 5 in a row. All right, moving over to the venerable National League. In their Eastern Division, Philly is still up big, 51-26, 7 games up on the Braves, who are 43-32. Washington is 38-39. New York Mets are 37-39. Miami is 27-50 on the season. Philly has a plus 114 differential. Atlanta has a plus 50. Washington -9. In the National League Central, it's still Milwaukee in first place, 45-33. They're 5 games up on the Cardinals, who are 39-37. Pittsburgh's in third place, 37-40, 2.5 behind the Cardinals. Chicago's a half game behind Pittsburgh, 37-41, and Cincinnati's a game behind Pittsburgh, 36-41. It still so happens that Milwaukee, first place, is plus 63 on the differential, and Cincinnati, last place, plus 9 on the differential, are the only teams with positive differentials. Milwaukee is hosting Texas, St. Louis hosts Atlanta, Pittsburgh's at Cincinnati, Chicago's at San Francisco, and Cincinnati is hosting Pittsburgh. So, interesting there. In the NL West, LA still leading 48-31, 8.5 games up on 41-41 San Diego. Arizona Diamondbacks 38-40, a game behind San Diego. 3 games behind San Diego are the Giants of San Francisco, 36-42, and finally the Colorado Rockies are 27-51 and in last place. So the Dodgers are plus 112 on the differential, and the Rockies are minus 124. In terms of the worst team in baseball, it's still the White Sox with their minus 164 run differential and a .266 winning percentage. Miami's .351 winning percentage. Colorado's .346. So Chicago White Sox are deeply the worst team in the league. The best team in the league is the Philadelphia Phillies, 51-26, and the best differential belongs to the Phils, just ahead of the Dodgers. All right, folks, should be a good week. Let's pray for good things down in the Trop, and go Mariners.